I'm a passionate, proud, paid-up Melbourne Storm member. The Ali Katoa incident a couple of weeks ago was sickening, and it sent shockwaves through the NRL and all the way through to grassroots sport.
Yep.
What went wrong, mate, in that moment? Was it process? Was it human error? Was it the protocols? It's really made us question the protocols. These HIAs. Right? HIAs are meant to be the way in which we identify this and remove them from play. The fact that the initial incident was in the warm-up, how is a warm-up not being watched by the officials as closely as in-game activity? Yeah. What's your thoughts on that incident, mate, and what do we learn from it?
Well, it clearly shows that we've got a lot of work to do in this space. We talk a lot about how we've got the best protocols in the world. Insert sport to claim that their sport is the best, but there's this real chest beating around the best protocols in the world. But incidences like these show where the holes are lying. And so, there's the concern around not considering that concussions can occur in the warm-up. So that's one bit. The second bit is the fact that where was the medical intervention around that? And Tonga was sort of saying, oh, well, we didn't know. If we knew, we would have not let him play, but it was clearly on camera. There was a trainer there, so where was the communication there? We now find out that the independent doctors only come on when the clock starts for the game. And so, I've been fairly vocal publicly around the fact that they can afford to have doctors come in when teams are in. That should be there the whole time. It's not going to be a massive expense to pay a doctor to come out of their practice and be involved in that. Compensate them for their time properly, but they should be there in the warm-ups, because we know that concussions occur in training and warm-ups, and a lot of concussions and that happen outside of the actual game itself. So we need to be more vigilant there. And then I guess, it's the fact that he had multiple concussions in one game. I thought I was watching a game in 1985, not 2025, where a player was sent back out. So, this is, a failure on multiple levels.
Do you think this will change, or do you fear that this will just be another blip in the radar and we'll move back to waiting for the next major incident?
Yeah, good question. I think it will. I think you will see some changes, but some other area will be exposed, that people aren't thinking about, or that will never happen, and it does. So, for me, it's just not about returning the player after a concussion event. It's simple as that. That for me would eliminate all of these problems. And not having everyone expect that the HIA is the benchmark for return to play. It's still the doctor's decision. The HIA is only there as a tool to help make that decision. Yep. And, there's a whole bunch of problems with I think anyway, from the SCAT 6. They try to make it better, but, paper and pencil tests are never as that good, because it's still very much a subjective decision. But, it's only part of the whole process. So if there are clear signs, as I said, we said before, that's it, no more. Yeah.
We talk about this at local level. Like from last year, we understood, I don't know the numbers of this year, but last year I think there were 4 local footy clubs sued by law firms for mishandling concussion.
Yeah.
And so the way we've talked about it is, you've got the carrot or the stick. Is you should have the carrot of wanting to put the kids or the players' health and well-being at the forefront.
Yeah.
But the stick is now a reality, right? If you don't necessarily do the right thing and you don't govern it, I imagine perhaps that might, fortunately or unfortunately, be the main driver, whether it's legal liability, insurances, these sort of consequences are clearly going to come as a result of, in this case, Ali Katoa and no doubt others.
Yeah.
You hope that Ali Katoa incident, though, as much as we're all ecstatic that he's healthy and well and he's out of hospital, I think, and he's off it, does something good come of that, in the fact that now everyone's seen it? You can't unsee it. We all saw it. I don't know how the doctors missed it, but anyway, we all saw it. So does that now change the narrative? Don't worry about the institutions, parents. Does that change the narrative for parents where they actually might start? Because I'm noticing in the clinic a number of young players coming in from local clubs saying, I think they're walking in and their appointment is, how are you today? What can I help you with? I think I'm concussed. So that's been a big shift I've seen in the last 12 months of young men going, I've got one brain. I love football, but I've got one brain and I want to make sure it's still functioning when I'm 40, 50, 60, etc. So I guess it's not, I would hope that incidents like this continue to get the public talking about it, seeing it and going, actually, no, we're going to start taking this seriously. And I would say hopefully, parents now start going, well, actually, no. And I know a lot of parents sit in my room and go, I'm sorry, Johnny, you can't play basketball this weekend because it's just not worth it, and hopefully that's something beautiful comes out of this tragic.
I mean, you're at the coalface, so.
Yeah, I think sometimes when you're so far into it, you need to zoom out, right? And look at where we are. Look at where we were 3 years ago. I mean, I just think about it being on the committee. Now, Play HQ have introduced concussion incident reports, right? So the player will be removed from the team sheet until they get, cleared to play. I think anecdotally this year I saw 3 games where parents from the opposition were concerned about one of our players that was on the ground and made their voice heard. We've just appointed a new coaching coordinator, Shadden, who's an absolute gun. He wants to drive concussion as a primary objective when we talked with our coaches in our pre-season coaching and TM briefing session. There are so many more tools and resources out there. I think we are seeing the change. And so when you're in the micro, you see what's not happening. But if we zoom out a little bit, I think I've seen, from my anecdotal experience, I am seeing big changes in behaviour, expectations. Yeah, we're still going to have your dinosaurs that, old school mentality. But if the majority outweigh and overshadow that old school attitude, I think that's where you'll start to see change.